Good day, everyone. My name is Ebolua Oshai, a student from the Department of Actuarial Science and Insurance, the group leader of Group 12. My team and I will be discussing the topic employment communication. But before we proceed, I would like to give an overview of the topic employment communication. Employment communication refers to the exchange of information, ideas, messages between employees, employers, and stakeholders in the workplace. Effective employment communication is crucial for job clarity and understanding, for employee engagement and motivation, build trust and relationship, and also enhance productivity and efficiency. In order for the employment communication to be effective, we have various channels such as the verbal communication, which is face-to-face encounter, phone calls, and video calls. Also, we can also make use of the written communication, which can be through emails, intranet, and text. We'll be discussing the following in this course: writing curriculum vitae and resume, writing a cover letter, submitting application, following up on application, and tips to excel at interview. I'll be handing over to my colleague who will be taking us through writing a curriculum vitae and resume.
A curriculum vitae and resume are both essential documents for job application, each serving to showcase an individual's professional background, skill, and accomplishments. Although they are often used interchangeably, they differ significantly in length, format, and detail. Differences between a CV and a resume. A CV is detailed and longer, covering a comprehensive history of one's academic and professional career, while a resume is concise, usually limited to 1 or 2 pages, tailored towards a particular job application, emphasizing relevant skills and experiences. Then we have parts of a CV. Parts of a CV under which we have personal information, which comprises of full name, contact details, LinkedIn profile or personal website. Then we have professional summary, under which we have brief statements highlighting career objective, key skills, and values to the employer. Followed by education, under which we have degrees, institution attended, relevant dates, and relevant courseworks. Followed by work experience, under which we have description of previous job, including company's name, position held, awards, and achievements. Followed by a comprehensive list of technical, professional, and soft skills. Then we have certification and licenses, which comprises of professional certificates, licenses, and accreditations. Then we have professional affiliation. This covers membership in professional organizations and societies. Finally, we have reference, which covers contact details for professional references, or a note including references are available upon request. Thank you. I'm calling on my colleague Olawo Resholakbo to take us on part of a resume and supporting documents.
I'll be taking notes on the parts of your resume. We have the contact information. The contact information has to do with the full name, the phone number, the email address, and the LinkedIn profile of an applicant. We also have a professional summary, which has to do with a concise summary about the professional background of an applicant. We also have a work experience. This talks about the significant achievements, the various job roles and responsibilities that have been undertaken by an applicant. Going forward, we have education. This talks about the degree, the institution, the graduation date, and various things that has been done by an applicant. We have the skills. This talks about like the targeted skills of an applicant for the particular job that is meant to be undertaken. We have certifications and professional development. It has to do with the certifications, the trainings, the program and courses that has been taken by the applicant. We also have additional section. This has talked about the project, the volunteer experiences, or whatsoever volunteer work that has been done before by the applicant. Going to the supporting documents. I was talking about supporting documents that can be included in our resume. We have a cover letter. So basically, a cover letter is like a written document that is always accompanying a job application, and it's by the applicant. It has to do with the credentials of the applicant and the interest of the person in that particular job. We also have a reference list. The reference list has to do with documentations about listing professional references and their contact information. We also have a portfolio. A portfolio has to do with academic and professional materials that will exemplify your belief, your education, your training, your qualifications, and every other thing that the applicant has once undertaken before. We also have the certifications and license. This has to do with the copies of certifications and licenses of the applicant. We have the transcript. It's an official academic document that's used by the applicant, and it has to do with his academic and research positions. Thank you. So I'll be calling on my fellow colleague Favor Owl, and she'll be taking us on the processes of writing a CV and a resume. Thank you.
Process of writing a CV and resume. 1. Preparation. Research the job and company. Gather all relevant information about your education, work experience, skills, and achievements. 2. Choosing the format. If you're writing for a CV, use a chronological or functional format. And if you're writing for the resume, use a reverse chronological format, a functional or combination format if you're changing careers or dealing with employment gaps. 3. Writing the document. Start with a header containing contact information. Write a strong professional summary. Detail work experience and education. List your relevant skills and include additional sections relevant to the field and job. 4. Tailoring your document. Customize for each job application, emphasizing relevant experiences and skills. 5. Reviewing and editing. Proofread carefully, ensuring clear organization and consistent formatting. 6. Seeking feedback. Get feedback from your mentors, your colleagues, or career services professionals. 7. Finalizing and submitting. Revise based on feedback. Save in professional formats, usually in PDF form, and submit along with any required supporting documents as per job application instructions. By following this structured process, job seekers can effectively present their qualifications and improve their chances of securing job interviews. I'll be calling on my colleague Usman Kendi.
I'll be discussing on cover letter. Firstly, what is a cover letter? A cover letter is a document that comprises of resume and CV when applying for a job. In other words, it can be defined as a document that accompanies your CV or resume. We have different type of cover letter. Firstly, we have application cover letter. It is a cover letter that accompanies a resume when applying for a job. Secondly, we have inquiry cover letter. It is a cover letter that is sent to a company showing the potential of a applicant for a particular or specific job. Thirdly, we have referral cover letter. Referral cover letter is a cover letter that mentions the mutual connection with who has referred you to a job or company. Lastly, which is follow-up cover letter. A follow-up cover letter is a cover letter that is after an initial interview or application has been made. Moving to key function of a cover letter. A good cover letter should be structured in the following way listed below. Firstly, introduction. It introduces the applicants to personalize their application, providing a brief overview of what they are and why they are applying for the job. Secondly, which is personalization. It allows the individual to express their application, explaining why they are interested in a particular goal and the organization. Thirdly, we have highlighting qualification. It allows the applicant to portray their relevant qualification, experience, and skill that demonstrates why they are the strongest candidates or the greatest candidates for the job. In addition, demonstrating fit, it portrays the applicant's background aligned with the job. The last one, which is motivation, it expresses the applicant's enthusiasm and motivation for the job, which can also be a crucial factor in the hiring process. So I will introduce Adedokun Olasu coming to you, which will take you on the structure of a cover letter.
I'll be going through the structure of a cover letter. Firstly, the header. It includes the applicant's contact information, the date, and the employer's contact information. Secondly, the salutation. It is a formal greeting to the person reading the letter. If possible, address it to a specific person. Then, furthermore, opening paragraph. It states the position the applicant is applying and how the applicant gets to know about the position, and a brief statement about why you are interested in the position. And furthermore, body paragraph. It provides specific examples of your qualifications, experience, achievements that are relevant to the job. It connects your background to the job requirement and company's needs. Lastly, closing paragraph. It summarizes your interest in the role, reiterates your enthusiasm, and requests an interview. It also thanks the reader for their time. Thank you. Now I'll be calling on Sanusi Oluwatimileye to.
I'm here to talk about the tips for writing an effective cover letter. Number one, you tailor it to the job. Customize each cover letter for the specific job or company you are applying to. Number two, be concise. Keep it to one page and focus on the most relevant information. Number three, show enthusiasm. Demonstrate genuine interest and enthusiasm for the job and the company. Number four, Proofread. Ensure there are no spelling or grammatical errors. Number 5, professional tone. Maintain a respectful and professional tone throughout the letter. I want to invite my colleague, Bankole Michael, to talk about the submitting and following on your application.
Okay, so today I'll be talking about submitting employment applications. The first one is reviewing job posting. Obviously, as a potential employee of a company, you need to go through and really understand the job descriptions and employment applications that is required for a job post. You need to understand the skills and experiences and qualifications that is required for a job post. So the second one is going to be preparing your documents. You need to ensure that your resume is up to date, clear and concise, and make sure that you create a bullet point that highlights your skills and experiences for a job post. So for the third one now is going to be customize your applications. You need to make sure that your resume cover letter reflects the specific job requirements for a job posting. Okay, so moving to the fourth point, we have follow submission instructions. You need to make sure that you really understand the specific method a company requires of you for submitting applications and resumes. So, and that can be through emails. Okay, moving to the fifth point, we have double check your applications. You need to make sure that you go over your applications multiple times over for any form of error or inconsistency that might show in the application. So the sixth point, we have submitting before the deadline. You need to make sure that you aim to submit your application or resume before the required time, and to make sure that you show organizational proactivity and address any last minute issues that might occur in your applications. So I'll be handing over to Model Day Suzanne to take over following up of employment applications.
I'll be taking you guys on following up on employment application. After the submission of the application, you have to follow up so that the employer will know that you have interest in the position you are applying for. So the first step for your following application, you have to wait for a reasonable time. You don't rush the employer. You have to wait for about 1 or 2 weeks to give the employer time to like review the application. Then next, you have to find the right contact. That is, you have to contact the right person. In a situation whereby the number or the contact is not on the job posting, you go on the company's website or the LinkedIn profile and look for the hiring manager contact or the specified contact on the website. Then also you have to choose the right record in following up with the application submission. So you have the best method to use is the email method. The email method must be concise and it must be in a professional way. Then there's also a secondary method, which is the phone call. If after a reasonable time, maybe a week or two, and you've not received a response about your email, you can make a phone call. Make sure that your phone call or your conversation should be in a professional manner and approach. Also, your email should be professional and concise, like I said earlier. Your subject line was a very clear subject line for understandability, for the employer to understand the message you are trying to pass through. Example as on the slide is follow up on job title application. If you are applying for the post of a risk manager, your subject line should be follow up on risk manager application. And also your email body must be professional and be concise. You must start with a polite greeting, then tell the employer the reason for your email that you are trying to follow up, and let them know that you still have interest in the position that you are applying for. Next slide, please. Then this is an example of how the email will be. Dear hiring manager, the body of the email, make sure it's very concise. Make sure that in your email body you are trying to pass information that you are still interested in the position, and also your phone number and your details. Then also there are other methods and steps to follow up in the employment application. You have to stay positive no matter the response you get from the employer. Make sure to stay positive and maintain a professional tone. And whenever there's a rejection mail or a rejection phone call, make sure that you don't react to the manager. You respond graciously and take the hiring manager and expressing interest in further opportunities. Then you continue on your job research. You don't just stay on a particular job application. You keep applying to other job opportunities, and also try to engage in networking to discover other opportunities, and attend industry events and join professional bodies and interact with others in your field. By doing so, you get other applications and job on your employment. Thank you. I'll hand over to Onye Damilola to take us on the interview job.
So effective employment communication is crucial for interviews for jobs. So I'll be sharing with us tips on how to have a successful interview, right? So there is separated into three stages. And the first stage, we have the before the interview, we have the during the interview, and we have the after interview. So before the interview, right, we have a formula actually, and it is DB. Rack DB. So R stands for research the company. So first of all, you have to know the mission, vision, the goals and values of the company. Then second, we have to know the job description and what the job entails, right? The requirements, as you can see. And then the A stands for prepare your answers. Prepare your answers. So anticipate common interview questions and practice your responses. And second point under prepare your answers, you use the STAR method: the situation, the task, the action, and the result. So the next slide, please. Prepare questions, right? So have thoughtful questions about the role, the team, and the company. This shows your interest and your engagement. Then dress appropriately, right? Dress according to the company's culture, and when in doubt, err on the side of formality. Then the B, right? The B, bring necessary documents. Have multiple copies of your resume, a list of references, and any other required documents. So during the interview, we have first impression. So your first impression matter. And how do you get a good first impression? You have to be there early before time. Then next slide, please. Then body language, right? Maintain a good posture, right? And maintain 100% composure. Have good eye contact with the management or wherever it's interviewing you. Then listen carefully to the interview's questions and comments. Nod occasionally and use the verbal affirmations like I see or absolutely. Then clear and concise answers. Be direct and to the point. Avoid rambling. Ensure your answers are relevant to the questions asked. Then we go to the next point. Show enthusiasm. Demonstrate your interest in the role and the company. Show the passion that you have for this company. Then the last but not the least, under the during the interview, is professionalism. Maintain a respectful tone throughout the interview. Avoid interrupting the interviewer. So Oshoaye Egbonluwa will be taking us on the last stage, which is after the interview. Thank you.
As my colleague has given us before, we have to go through the after the interview process. First off, we should send a thank you email to the organization within 24 hours of the interview. While sending the email, it should be personalized in such a way that a specific occurrences during the interview should be mentioned. Secondly, follow-up email. A follow-up email should be sent to the organization after the time frame provided by the organization. Lastly, reflect and improve. Reflect on the actions done during and after the interview and improve for future interviews. By following these tips, you can improve your communication skills and increase your chance of success in job interviews. My teammates and I have been able to take us through the process of employment communication. We hope that through this little discussion of ours, you can be able to effectively communicate wherever you are, either in your workplace or as a stakeholder. Thank you.